Yo! Oh, that was some peaking audio right there, and I apologize for that. It's gonna be all. Oh. We got early peeps on. We got Braveheart. I'm going for it. Jarrell Harris. Rawan Dennis. How close am I? Bobby A. Angry Al. What up? And we got B-Spag grilling some steaks and watching some. I mean, really. That's what you got going on Monday? This is so not a Friday, and I said I was going to do Friday things. And I didn't, and I should have. Reef, what's up? Algae Warrior, yo. No excuses. Oh, my hair's looking rough. Look at. This is not looking good. It's not looking good. I mean, if it's going to look good. What's up, Troy? I should have jumped on Friday, but I was wrapped up in some stuff, and then Saturday was my grandson's birthday. We had a little shindig over at his place, and that was off the hinges. That was good. We played some volleyball. We played some outdoor Jenga. That Jenga tower was massive, and it was held up by a single Jenga brick, not in the center, down at the bottom, because the whole thing went all leaning tower or whatever. And it was a little messed up. It was crazy. Crazy times. Oh, wait. And then today, what did I do Sunday? What did I do yesterday? Yeah, yesterday was I was cutting up my fingers because I'm re-slinging. Y'all ever re-slung patio furniture? Because look, your boy's fat ass sits down in an old patio chair, boom, right through. And then the poor puppy jumps up on there, boom, right through. So I ordered some new slings for the patio furniture. Because I'm like, why do I need to buy new furniture? I don't have to buy new furniture just because the fabric's ripped, not written. So, by the way, wait, I'm screwing this up. Because my fish and LPS prefers Coral Frenzy, so does my Sam Adams. Two likes and 17 people. Y'all are awesome. I appreciate it. Yeah, so there's this place in Florida. What's up, Falcon? Actually, there's a couple places that will sell you new slings for your patio. Y'all come on here. You don't know what you're gonna get, right? They got, whatever. You don't know. I could be cutting vinyl for room signs, and I mean that's what I'm. You can't see it over there. So instead of buying the fabric and the whatever the hell that little tube is that runs in there, whatever that's called, and just sewing that thing myself, which I could because there's a sewing machine down here, I just bought them pre-made, so I just swap them out. If you've never pulled a 12-year-old sling out of a chair, you ain't lived, because it sucks. Advice: get it wet. Hit it with a hose. It slides out of there way better when it's wet. Know what I'm saying? And take your time. You can get them. You can save yourself some money. So, new tools. I had to buy this. First, is this one of them? Oh, yeah, that's a real battery. There's some fake batteries on Amazon that are legit, and they work. But this one's a real one, because I bought the real one first. But I needed this little impact. I suppose I could have used my drill, but whatever. Get another tool, right? See? Angry Al knows. And no one's had to battle. What else? We got, what's up, Mr. Wayne Scott? How are you, sir? I thought I seen you cleaning a gigantic fishbowl today. Is that the case? Yep. So 4 chairs are done, and I got 2 to go. And wear gloves when you're reslinging chairs. Wear gloves because something happens and your skin falls off, and then it hurts, and then you start bleeding on the next chair. Nobody wants it. Nobody wants to sit in that chair. Nobody wants that. So, fish tank stuff. Are we ready to talk fish tank stuff? Shh. Oh, fudge. Let me do this. Let me see if I can do this real quick. I can do this, right? YouTube.com. Talk amongst yourselves. Oh, I'm live. Look, I see myself. That's odd. Look. How do I do this? How do I do this without looking all pervy? Regarding my last... Wait. I can go down here. There we go. Regarding my last... When I was talking about getting the motorhome and sitting in the chairs without the binoculars, this has nothing to do with this. What this has to do with... I got to give a shout out, right? I mean, that's how we roll. Wonder if it'll work. Is it going to work? Is it the wrong window? Oh, it's the right window, too. Look at that. That's awesome. It never works. So... Oh, how come that didn't work? Wah, wah. Oh, that's odd. Huh. So, what I missed? Sorry. While I sit here and troubleshoot. Savage is on. See, I didn't give you a heads up. Look at you. You just knew. Oh, excuse my drinking. A-Can Addict. Oh, there it goes. Look, now it's working. So, bling. Shout out to young Chris right there. She puts out some good how-to videos, and they're legit. And there is some. She just put some work into it, and they're really good. There's some production value going on in there. Well, she was like, these lights are cool because she sticks them in her back, and she like effect lightings and colors and blues, and there's an app and it's Bluetooth and it works really well. But if I just wanted like a key light, if I want a light up here to make my hair look fancy, right? I put it back here a little bit just to give me a little halo backlight. See how that works? If you need, this is from her. I mean, not from her. This is from one of her videos. This is a badass little light, and it's made by Aperture. And you can control the color temperature, and you can control. See, I can turn it down to make it acceptable, and still make my hair look legit. See, color temperature, any color. You can aim it at something in the app and say, I want my light to be this color. Boom! Your light is that color. Go check out Chris. Check out some of her stuff. If you're into photography, videography, that kind of stuff, go watch. She puts on a good vid. And I learned something. And now I know. And you know what I say. So I'm pretty psyched about this little light. So there's my shout out. You really, I mean, is it odd that I come on and I roll random? Because that's kind of how my brain works. And I apologize because it's silly. It's got to be a pain. It's got to be a pain to watch. 7 people like it, and I appreciate that. What do we got? We got A-Can Addict. New Trail. I'm good. I appreciate that, Bobby. What am I streaming with? Yeah, I can talk about this. So I use OBS, and it probably is due an update by now, but it's OBS 25.0.8. It is... See, here's where I have a problem, because now I got to buy another Sony. But I stream through... It's not the Cam Link. I stream through a clean HDMI capture device that's plugged into USB, whatever, USB 3. That camera, a Sony A6000, offers a clean HDMI out signal. On that camera is the tiny little pancake, I don't know, what is this, 24 millimeter lens, prime. that has, I mean, it's decent. I got this one. This is the macro, right? This is the 35 millimeter. I think it's 35. Yeah, it's 35 millimeter macro. I could do with that, but then it's all going to be all in your face too much. And that's not cool. So, clean HDMI out from the Sony a6000 to an HDMI capture device that makes the computer think it's a webcam. There's also a webcam. I can't do that change right now. There's also a webcam sitting there just in case I need a second video source or in case this one craps out. But it's been totally solid for a while now. Mic, Blue Yeti. I think it's been serving me well. And I think that's it. And you use the a6000 for pictures and videos too. Yeah, so I used to use the a6000 a whole lot for pictures, but since I stuck it up here, I haven't moved it in a while. It is my preferred, because the other one's the Nikon D7000, and it's getting a little old, and the quality isn't as good. This Sony, which you can buy used or buy brand new cheap because they were everywhere, is really decent quality for the price. So, I mean, you could buy a 6500. I don't think the 6600's out yet, but you could buy a 6500, you could spend more money, or you could just buy the 6000 and spend like half the money and get like 3/4 of the camera. And you can live stream from it. I also have, I don't want to unplug it, but I have an Elgato Cam Link down there where I can, that's what I plug the GoPro in when I'm doing DIY stuff on the desk, if that makes sense. What's up, Tyler? Yeah, so that's how I stream, and it seems to work really well. There's a dude, his name's Patrick Norton. He's from the old Tech TV days. He is you know what? I think he's traveling now. I think he doesn't have a house, and he's living in his motorhome, and he's got a kid or two and a wife, and he just travels around the United States, and he streams, and he makes money, and he whatever. I mean, it's kind of like a gig economy thing, but he's doing really well. And that's where I got the a6000 idea. He was streaming on DTNS, Daily Tech News Show, with Tom Merritt. And he had some really clean, I think he was using the 35 macro, which has a super tight depth of field. So you get some really nice blur. I mean, if you look back there, it's a little blurry, but it's not all that blurry. And that's where I got I just stole it from the internet. Somebody was doing it right, and I learned from them, and that's what I did. How does it do with the white balance of the tank? So if I'm shooting the a6000, if I'm shooting raw, which I always do, which we always should do, you just edit that out in post. So using Lightroom, I use Photoshop. You're able to adjust the color balance in post to clean it up. Right now, I got two newer cheesy LED lights back here. I could totally put this one up on the monitor maybe and do that kind of thing. But it does, yeah, the a6000 works really well. Oh, the 6600 is out. See, I don't know. Fine. I'll stay a couple generations back because it's cheap. When did the 6600 come out? Am I that far behind? I thought the 65 was the king. Yeah, so it works really well in post. Fish tank stuff. I still call it a fish tank, and I apologize for that. My latest ICP test showed increased aluminum, which I thought was odd. And it still may not. I may not have found the source of that. What's up, Mom? Good hanging out with you and Dad this weekend. Oh, you know what I gotta do? I gotta write a review on Amazon. I'm sorry. I was reading Algae Warriors comment there. Well, Tyler, I'm that far behind, buddy. That's too bad. See, I gotta keep up. ICP test came back with a lot of aluminum. More than I would expect. Especially since I'm not using... Hey, Dad. I'm not using any aluminum-based phosphate removers from the tank. So that made me think that maybe there was some other metals in there too, but I don't know. And I looked at the magnets. There's a bunch of magnets in my tank, and the ones I could see I looked at, and I didn't see anything going wrong. That's right, Dave. That's right. What's up, Slee Stack? Which I still think is a hilarious name because I watch 70s TV. So I go to mix up some salt water because I'm still doing. I do automatic water changes with the Neptune Dose. It's all rah, 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 rah. I mean, it's loud. I don't know why it's that loud. You know when you're doing a water change. So I go to heat up that water and get it circulating. And I had an old Rio 1700 plus in there. So 1700 liters. It is one of my old return pumps, and those things have served me well for a very long time. Like, I think I'm on my third or fourth. I'm probably on my third Rio in the tank right now. It's always treated me really well. Reef. And then the pump makes a noise. It starts grinding. And I'm like, what's that? So I pull it out of the brute trash can. I smack it against the ground like I like to do, and it made a little more noise, and it stopped. I was like, something's up. So I unplugged it and I took it apart, and the magnet was cracked in half. And this is a non-vinegar pump. It just gave up. So if you look at, like, how do you say it? I think it's Siche. So if you look at Siche or Sick, however you want to say it. If you look at Siche pumps, those things are the 5-year warranty on them. This thing lasted probably 5 or 6 years. This was not Siche. Remember, this was a Rio pump, 1700 plus. I got my money's worth out of the pump. Historically, I would time change my return pumps. I'm not suggesting that a brand new pump, and people do this all the time, I'm not suggesting that a brand new pump is going to be better than the pump you've replaced, because there's always the possibility that the new equipment is faulty and it's going to break and kill your tank. But the chances are, if you, what's up, Remy? The chances are, if you time change a pump, you're hopefully putting in a better pump than you're removing. And then you use that other pump for something else, like turning water. Well, that made me get to thinking, because I did have some softy die off, and I had some odd mushroom, I think, death. They receded, like just one. One of those cool ones that Moki has, those green and orange things. One of those receded. And then these weird, almost Xenia-like, I don't know what they are. They started dying off for no reason at all, which really didn't bother me until I started thinking, well, maybe something's killing them. And then I see this broken magnet, and I was like, maybe I'm getting metals in the tank. All the other corals seem fine. I did have some random dies, and I talked about that last week, I think. Random dies a while back, 3-4 weeks ago maybe. So maybe all of this has been telling me something all along, and I just haven't been paying attention. So I dumped out all my water change salt water. I dumped out all my calc. I dumped out all of my ATO. And I dumped out everything that was in the brute trash can in the garage. Cleaned everything. Cleaned it with new water right out of the RO. Or the DI, whatever. Gave it a good shake and dumped it out. And refilled everything with a new salt mixing pump in the container. Something to think about. This time, I had a backup pump. Of course, I had a backup pump. I had a return backup pump. As this one was actually in the closet to replace the one that's in the sump. It was higher. It was a higher rated pump. It was like a 2500, I think. But whatever. That's what I had. And I pulled it out of the box, dropped it in the brute trash can, got that water moving, and I poured all that salt in there and let it mix overnight, because you'd always let your salt mix overnight. Everybody nod. Everybody say yes. And I went out there and the water was like 90 degrees. Because that much bigger pump that I put in that little brute trash can. It's like a 10-gallon can. It heated up the water with friction. So the heater was off. The pump was heating it. So I was like, nope, that pump's not the right pump. So I ordered a Synchrosilent 1. I think it's the 1. Yeah, this is the 1. So 950 liters. It's absolutely smaller than what I had in there, but it is it's plenty. This is my 1, 2, 3, 4th CJ pump. I got a couple of those 3 of those little ones, the Me Mouse, and now this one. I like buying these for whatever reason. These make me feel good. I think these are going to last. So this is where I'm rolling. Not sponsored. I buy these pumps. So if I'm buying an AC, that's what I'm buying. Oh yeah, we gotta talk about that AC thing that I haven't figured out yet too. I'm gonna scroll through here real quick. Somebody asked about, oh yeah, Algae Warrior, you asked about a light. I don't know, and I apologize. I don't have any information on it. I'm sure somebody in here does. Do you run any block filtration items? I heard some of them. So, yeah, Savage, that may have been a thing back in the day. I think that's a thing that continues to be spread. Marine Pure, maybe back in the day did. I know that Brightwell sells their own stuff that's supposed to be of a higher grade, but I don't know that. That's what I was told, which feels like marketing. But maybe it's okay. I do run Marine Pure spheres, and they're hella old, and they need to get changed out. So maybe I'll look at some of the Brightwell stuff. And those have long since given up anything that they were going to give up, which means to me that they haven't done anything. They're fine. So it's not coming from there, but I hear you, man. And I know that rumor, and I know maybe somebody somewhere had that issue. I don't have that. Everybody's all, hey, Remy. Hey, Remy. Hey, Remy. So, yeah. The Synchro 1.0. Like Angry Al's got. No. Troy's got one in his tank. That thing is now my saltwater mix. And because it's a nice, slow pump, it's not going to heat up the water. And I'm not afraid of it breaking and jacking up all my water. So, maybe I found a source. I don't know. I got to keep looking, I think. Now, my assumption is that ICP wasn't 100% accurate, which is fine. I never expect an ICP to be 100% accurate. Whatever. They have a really fancy machine. They're not necessarily testing to lab specs. They're doing what they can. I assume that to be a hobby grade test. You should too. Don't take it for, don't think that's gospel, right? Don't go, these are my results and I know they're accurate, because they're not. Because that water sat, I talked about this before, right? The water's on test for a long time. Water sits in that little container. You send it off. The water's changing the whole time. Use it as a way to trend your water. But anyway, I'm assuming that I have metals in the tank. So I got some detox from, I can't remember. Somebody will. So it's Triton. Triton makes it. It's Triton Detox. Liquid metals remover. And I'm going to try that. I don't have any mechanical filtration in the tank, so there's no filter socks, there's no floss, there's none of that stuff. So I'm going to give this stuff a shot. Yeah, see, there you go. Angry Al knows what's up. How long have you been flying RC planes, and have you been to the largest electric fun fly in the States, not far, Catskills? I know about it. I've seen it. Flight Test boys have been there, Falcon. I have been flying for... That's a relatively new hobby, so maybe 8 years. Something like that. Wait. 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's probably about right. Probably about 8 years. And I have not. But maybe I should, because I could go jump in a motorhome now and bring all my stuff, which would be pretty sweet. A lifeguard, quiet one, pro, Reef. There's this band called Ja Rule, which is why I say Reef. Hope you don't mind. I don't know that pump, so I'll have to look it up. That's cool. I'm glad I'm capturing. I'm capturing the. Who's streaming tonight? I'm capturing the chat over in the video there. Oh. Dave, you've used Detox? No issues? Anything I need to know? Anything you could share? I'm interested. I'd like to know. So that's what I've been up to. I think I mentioned it maybe. I worked from home today. I'm gonna work from home tomorrow. I'm gonna go in, I think probably Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and see what's going on. We're doing a lot of work, a lot of things, a lot of busy, a lot of whatevers. But I'm also trying to figure out how to look at that, cut up my damn fingers, fixing up chairs. Trying to figure out where to go this weekend. Try to get that motorhome out. See, there you go, Ja Rule. What's up, Bill Ray? I need it. Where's that fly in? Because my brain just went blank and now I can't remember where that is. But I totally know. And there's lakes and there's whatever. I've seen so many videos on that stuff. What else do I have? I did exactly what it said on the bottle. Savage Reefer, I did exactly, this is Detox. I did exactly what it said on the bottle. And it turns the water nasty color with a U. And then, you pull carbon, dose the brown, let the brown do what the brown does, and then throw your carbon back in to clean that business up, right? I think that's how you do it. All right, question time. Who's got something? Who wants to talk about something? What have I done? What else have I done this week? I cleaned one of my power heads because it was totally growing, which is fine. A ton of bubble algae. I don't go crazy about bubble algae. We've talked about Vibrant before. I'm not team Vibrant. It never works for me. I mean, it kills the bubble algae, but it also kills my coral. It's something to do with my tank. And I don't think it's Vibrant. I think it's me. It's not you. It's me. Questions on lights. Uh-oh. Whew. Bill Ray wants to go big old school with a big old T5 and metal halide. So, I don't know the Giesman Spectra SE. I've never shot that light, so I don't know what it looks like. The only one I've shot is the 20K that mimics the radium. And I find those spectrums to be completely inadequate given the lights that we have these days, because we're able to create much broader spectrum to give us more control of our blues, and the peaks aren't so tight, right? I mean, they're wider blues. T5 is totally going to work for a big old tank like that. There's no reason why it wouldn't. You would hang the T5s off the side, kind of like people do with Reef Brights, right? That's how you would handle it with that metal halide. Or maybe there's hybrid fixtures that for which I'm unaware, which is totally possible. A 48-inch tank, you know how I'd roll? Because I'd go in the garage and I'd pull out a whole bunch of those XR30s that are just packed in there, just waiting for something big to happen. I'd throw those on there. I'd go get a whole bunch of used, and I'd have at it. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with a big old T5 fixture over top of that tank. And then however you want to supplement that, if you want to throw 470 bars on there or Reef Brights or sub in a metal halide, go for it. Do it. Whatever you do, do it. And then let us know how it works, because that's the way it works, right? Angry Owl, Vibrant totally worked for me. So I've used it 3 times. And 3 times it has... 2 times it has killed corals, 1 time, and I'm just following the directions. Well, the first time I didn't, but whatever. The 2 times after that, I followed the directions. It starts killing my corals, and I don't know why. it absolutely started annihilating the bubble algae. So its intended purpose, it works. But I'll always refer back to when BRS did their vibrant studies, where they challenged vibrant in a couple different situations. I don't remember there being corals in that tank, or maybe there were, and it was like one, or two. I don't know. Just doesn't work for me. I know it works for other people, so I know it's my tank. I just don't know why. Have I done any more work on the Blue Sensei? Nick. Hey, Ricardo. Wait a minute. I missed a couple. Vibrant did some weird stuff for Tyler. Vibrant never worked for me either, but it kind of works. But then it doesn't work in the way you want it to work. I can tell you that. Savage jumping in with Go LED. I agree. You got to recycle those T5 bulbs, and they got, no matter how much green they stick on the wrapper, they still have mercury in those bulbs, and you still have to recycle them, and you can't just go out and play lightsaber with them. You gotta treat them right. And the less that kind of stuff we make, the less we got to worry about it, and the less mercury gets in our groundwater and all that kind of crap. So, whatever. Electronics have their problems too. Just do what you can. No more work on the Blue Sensei, not yet. Mark III. Whatever. I'm too busy fixing chairs and buying motorhomes, and I got something I can talk about. And I need to, because that's a cool little light, and I need to finish that project, and then I need to make a bigger one, and then still a bigger one yet. Later, Algae Warrior. You probably missed that, and I apologize. I should do 2 Hydra 64s with the T5. Bill Ray, you should do, please hold, 48-inch tank. You should do 3 Hydra 64s, because I tested that. Oh, Thomas, that's still in my trunk if you're here. Maybe you'll see this later. Maybe we should catch up this week. I'll come to you since you've stopped here a couple times. Get 3 64s, which are really powerful lights, by the way. Like, way more powerful than you think they are. Like XR30 powerful. They put out more power in my tests than my Gen 4 XR30s. But anyway. And don't do T5. Just get those, because you're going to mount those 64s up a little higher. Get the 470 lights. Get 4 of the 24-inch 470 bars from AliExpress. So you're into it for $200 in bars. For 4 bars is $200, not $160 for one. $200 for 4, and you totally have the spectrum that'll kill. It'll work. Not kill in a bad way, kill in the right way. Consider that. Consider 3 Hydra 64s over a 48 with 4 470 bars. You can run the 470s at 100% because that's how they come, unless you mod them like I do, and then just do the acclimation with the Hydras, and you'll be totally set. I like that Hydra 64 that Thomas let me borrow. Semperfi. I need some of the T-Rex nubs down here in Miami. I need to get off my damn ass and figure out shipping, because I have too much coral in the frag tank and I need to cut them back, and everybody gets something cheap. Angry Al, I agree. See, no, you would be better off with 3 Hydra 64s. Not over a 48. 32s is too weak. 3 64s. Yeah, because you get 1 in the middle and you got 2 on the sides, and that's the right way to go. Because you can put them this way, not this way. And then throw the bars on top of there. And you would have all the light that you totally need. That's just my take. What do you think? So here, look. Let's talk about lights real quick. But first, we'll take a commercial break. And we'll talk about Reef Frenzy, the preferred pellet food for LPS and fish. I ain't lying either. That's the only pellet I feed. It's the only pellet I buy. And Ken Easter is cool. So, I got 28 people watching. And 14 likes. How many subs? Y'all subbed? Oh, see, that's not working. I wonder why that doesn't work. It worked earlier. Oh, there it worked. So, shit, what was I talking about? Well, then you're good. Just use the Reef Brights, Bill Ray. If you already got 2 of them, stick them on the side of those. Stop it, Tyler. Put those on the side of 364s, and you are all set. What was I talking about? I have 164 and 2 52s on a 6-foot tank, so I'm on T5s, 4 balls. Yeah, you could pull those T5s. Yep, but that works. That works too. So you could also go get used lights if you have 164. Well, that's 164. Yeah, you could do whatever. You could do whatever you want because there's a whole lot of cool lighting options out there. I'm not. Y'all know. I'm not a ball burner. I am a bulb thrower awayer. That's nice of you, Max. Oh, wait. 20 likes and 28 viewers. Keep creeping up on it. We're closing the gap, people. We're closing the gap. What was I talking about? I thought I covered it. Maybe I didn't. Should I talk about Tesla? I'm not going to talk about Tesla stock, but y'all see what's happening there? I bought some Tesla stock when it was $300-something. I should have bought so much more. There's nothing wrong with a 52. Just go with it. Those are good lights. That's a good light. You don't need to have the latest and greatest. The 64 is a good light, but whatever. So are the 52s. If you get those things cheap, get them half price, get them whatever, you're done. Yep, to the moon. But anyway, when I bought my Model 3, I bought full self-driving. I was thinking resale-ish, maybe, if I went to the Model Y. Don't know. But I have 4-foot by 3-foot by 19 tank with 3 XR15 blues and 4 T5 bulbs. Reef. I know that combo. And I know that combo with the 470s. With those LEDs. That's a good combo. So if you go 4-foot, why 315s? I mean, the 15 blues are good. That's what I was going to talk about. I think a lot of people, and I kind of blame lighting manufacturers, but I'm of the turn the light down camp. So I will always buy a higher powered light and turn it down. Then, and I'll wait and I'll buy them used and I'll stock those things and I'll add them over time and maybe sell a smaller light. But I always buy lights that are higher powered than I need, or in some cases like the XR30 or the Mitris. One of the Mitris, well, it's ramping up because I added those 470s, but that one Mitris runs at 100% because that's as much light as I need in that tank, right? And I'm sneaking up over 400, 500 par. So that's just kind of what I'm doing. But I could talk a little bit about solar. But I always buy a bigger light. I tested Moki's XR15 Pro, and I tested Lynn Reef Nerd's XR30 Blue. Both good lights. You really can't go wrong. Now, I've been running Mobius on my XR30s because back in the day I was part of the beta group. So for me, personally, there's no value in changing to a Gen 5 from a Gen 4 because you're not going to get anything. fine. Spread, the spread is a little better, but I run diffused, and the spread is just fine. So always stock the older lights, switch out the radios. If they don't have a black radio, throw one in there, and poof, you get that thing up on Mobius eventually. And you kind of have what you need. You absolutely will have what you need. But that's how I do it. So always buy more light than you need, because you can always turn that down, right? It's always like I'd rather the weather be cooler, because I could just put on more clothes and I could layer and I could take stuff off. If it's hot out, you don't want all this with the clothes off. Nope. This is pop. You don't want that business. So yeah, I agree. Angry Al says it right there. I'd rather have more power than not enough. I always buy big lights. Do what you can. More light, more better. You just turn them down if it's too much. Basically, I got the XR30 Gen 4 because of you. I think you'll like that Gen 4. That's it. Those are good lights. There's nothing wrong with those things. I got a couple Gen 4s, and they treat me well. Well, one's in the garage, but the one that's over the display with that Orphic Blue Plus looks great. Everything looks great. Bad thing about the Hydra 64s is they removed the Wi-Fi function, Bluetooth only. Yeah, but so Angry Al, why is that a bad thing? I mean, what's up, Loose? Why do you have? I don't. It's very actually the software is the software used for the 64s is basically Mobius. It's the same interface. So if anybody's used Mobius, they'll absolutely recognize the Hydra 64's software. But you know, I'd argue you don't need Wi-Fi. I'd argue you never need Wi-Fi on any light, because you set it and you should leave it alone. The most you're gonna do is acclimate if you're bringing in corals, and if you're acclimating your home because you're adding the corals, so Bluetooth works just fine. I don't see a need to have another device on Wi-Fi if I don't need it. But that's just me. So I don't know that it's a bad thing. It's just a different thing. I'd like to think that I'll get back to you, Sleeve Stack. I didn't forget. I'd like to think that 3 of the 15s will be sufficient, only being 4 foot long, one T5, because, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. That's absolutely a good lighting solution. What's Smokey got? He's got 4? Does he have 3 or 4 of the 15 Pros? And it's working for him. I totally agree. Not at all a bad solution. I think it's just a philosophy thing. If I have the opportunity to go big, I'll buy the big one, just so I know I'll have enough later if I upgrade the tank. It's kind of that kind of thinking. Did you get some AliExpress bars with the XR30? I'm running 2 24-inch with the XR30, and it's awesome. Yep. So Max, that's exactly the setup I run over the frag tank, but that's with 2 Mitris LX7s. So I got 2 of those running AB+, the AB+ that I dug up using the spectrometer, and 2 of those 470 bars straddling it. That's called Battlestar Galactica because it kind of looks like it. And it works perfect. Really nice fat 470. Lots of pop, and it looks good. It's just reassurance if you're not... Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, like the XR30, Bluetooth. That doesn't have Wi-Fi. I can't see that thing when I'm gone. But the Mitris, I can. So it's like a cool thing because I could like show people the GHL Connect, and I can dial into the Mitris, and I can change the lighting settings, and that's cool. But for like practical use, I don't know. I don't know if it's better. I don't know if it's worse. I think it just works. Taylor, you missed nothing. I've been sitting here just drinking beer and just staring at the camera and really not talking about anything at all. You're good. You're good. Orphic 90 blue bars with mine. Yeah, those Orphic, I have that Aura 2, and that's a nice light. Sleeve Stack, you waited. You've been patient. Solar. So I was going to get back to Tesla too. I got one more thing after solar. What's up, Min? So I have 4 solar panels on my roof that I bought from Amazon, and I got a ladder from my neighbor, and I climbed up there, and I screwed them into my roof, and I ran the wires down, and they've been running to an MPP solar charge controller / automatic transfer switch, and it is basically a really fancy UPS. So the frag tank runs all day, heater and all, runs all day on solar. All day means 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. is when it switches back over to city power all the way. So, and there's 2 lithium iron phosphates. One I made, one I bought, a Renogy, and the other one is I made out of cells that I bought from, oh crap, I can't remember. But anyway, 2 lithium iron phosphate batteries. They're about 45, 50 amp hours, so they're really not big, but they do a really good job. So solar charges the batteries all day. Fish tank runs off of, the frag tank runs off of the batteries, and I don't need to use electricity. It works really, really well. And then nighttime comes, and it switches back over to city power, and now it's my backup power. Now it is just like it is during the day. Now it's my that battery's just waiting there to run the tank if it needs to. That's my UPS. So I've bought a very similar system where I'm just going to do it myself because it's really easy to do. Will Pros, if you watch Will Pros over on YouTube, watch some of his stuff, and you'll see that I can pull that webpage up if you want me to, but you'll see that it's really easy to add solar. So I got 4 panels, like I said. I could probably add 2 more and not exceed amperage. And the thing just runs and it runs and it runs. It was kind of a boring project, right? Because it's cool, right? I'm up on the roof and the kid's helping me, and I put the panels up there. I was like, look, I put solar on my roof, and I ran the wire down, plugged it all in, and the stupid thing just worked. And ever since then, it's just worked. I don't have to mess with anything at all. So I bought the MPP from a dude out of Utah. His name is Ian. And if you look up MPP Solar US, you stumble upon his store. You could also look it up on eBay. If you need contact information, hit me up because I can get you in touch with this dude. But these solar charge controller automatic transfer switch combos from MPP, they just work, and there's no trouble at all. So that was more of an experiment because I knew I was eventually going to end up with a motorhome, and I want to try to go as off-grid eventually as possible. Now, that's going to require some Battleborn batteries, and those things, 100 amp hour batteries, like $1,000. They're really expensive, and I don't have an appetite for that kind of spend right now, just for a battery, because I'd set it there and it would just work, and I'd be like, look, I just spent $1,000 on nothing I can play with. But I'm basically doing the same thing. I'm going to get a higher wattage pure sine wave inverter. Always buy pure sine wave. Don't get the modified sine wave. Always buy pure sine wave. So I'm going to get like a 3000, because that eventually I want to be able to run whatever I can run in a motorhome. Like if I want to microwave some soup while we're driving down the road and catching some solar and the batteries are charged or whatever, I want to be able to run that kind of stuff. The TV could be on as long as I'm getting light to the panels and the batteries are charging, right? The whole time the thing's moving, it's charging. So I'm kind of looking forward to setting that up. Eventually all those parts will arrive, and maybe I could show you, because it's the same basic thing I did for the house. So I got a different charge controller. I didn't get an MPP this time, not for the motorhome, because like I said, I wanted a higher wattage sine wave inverter, pure sine wave inverter. But how long will it power the tank in an outage? That is it's variable. Kind of depends on the season. If my house has an outage, my air conditioning turns off and my heater's not going to run, so it's going to power the tank forever because it's just running power heads at that point. And there's 250 amp hour batteries, and if you think about an Ecotech battery is an 18 amp hour battery, it's not doing It doesn't have to do the AC to DC conversion, right? But I'm running 250 amp hours in parallel. The tank's going to run for a really long time. I'll get an alarm because the cameras will drop off, and then I just come home and fire up the generator. Last resort is I run the wire out to my Tesla, and I connect it to the 12-volt battery that's in front, because the 12-volt battery is powered by the big batteries underneath the car, and I can run the tank for a really long time like that. But my first go-to is going to be grab the little generator that's in the garage to power the tank. My HOA, interesting. I have not confirmed this, but it's my understanding that HOAs, at least in Maryland, it's against the law for an HOA to say no solar. Because there's solar all over the place. So yes, my HOA is cool with it. I also didn't ask. I just did it. And they really can't see it. The back of the house aims south, and there's some trees and stuff back there that kind of block the view. If you stand like behind the people that live behind us, if you just stand next to their house and kind of look at my roof, then you can see the panels up there. But yeah, they don't mess with it. Have you messed with supercapacitors? Nope. I'm battery guy. I don't need supercapacitors. Have you? Because that would be interesting. Yes. Why wouldn't I want to eat soup while driving? I know it's not the car, and I know I can't just go dink dink and then the car drives itself, and I just sit there and I eat my soup like some douchey Tesla owner. But I just drive with my knee and I can eat my shit. It'll work. Why not? 100-watt flex. So I'm not running 100-watt flex. I'm running 100-watt rigid, and they are just like the Renogy panels, but they were a different brand. I can pull that up real quick, actually. HQST? HQST? I think that's what it is. Yeah, that's it. HQST, 100-watt panels. If you, and I've mentioned it before, if you follow Will Pros, it's legit. Oh, good. You don't hear, because you could. I wonder if I could. I wonder if I could pull this up. I can't. But Will Pros, I can hear him in my ear. This panel, this panel and this panel, they're like the same panel. So HQST and Renogy, same panels. So I just buy the 4-pack of the HQSTs, and they're super cheap. They're like $76 each. If you want to learn about solar, go see this dude. This dude has his own forum called Mobile. Well, his own webpage, and then he also has a forum that you could find through his webpage. But you can go learn all sorts of stuff from mobile.solarpower.com. You'll get the rigid versus flexible. Rigid will always give you more juice. You just got to keep it from flying off the top of the motorhome or the house when the bad storms come. Something to check out, something to look at. It is illegal for an HOA to not... yeah, see, that's what I had heard too. Tell that to my HOA. Been fighting the battle for over... Where are you at? Where are you at, Speed? How you like my grammar? Anytime you end a sentence with a preposition, like where you be at, if you put a comma, biatch, at the end, now it's proper grammar. So, where you at? Biatch. See? Immediately, you're gramophile. You know what's up. That's how you do it. So anytime you find somebody that ends a sentence with a preposition, offer them the comma biatch. They won't know what you're saying, but you get a giggle. Let's see. Regional manager for a mortgage company that cannot disassociate. K-Dub knows what's up. Colorado. Man, get them a big old bag and put the solar up there. Just do it. Really? Why would that be? That's interesting. Maybe it's a state-to-state thing. It doesn't make sense. I'm sure it's possible that the individual states have See? Where you be at? Bitch. Suddenly your grammar is better. You can be a snooty grammar person. That's how we roll. So, but anyway, when I bought the Model 3, I bought full self-driving. And the full self-driving is a hardware update. And we continue to get software updates all the time, which is pretty sweet because your car's all, hey, man, you got new software? I'm all, yes. So full self-driving, I don't think it's snow. There's no way it's snow. I'll bet they don't want to distract from the natural beauty of the Colorado. Full self-driving, I got the computer update finally. So look, Tesla, if you're listening, you got to work on your customer service. If you tell a brother that the full self-driving computer is available for install, please schedule your appointment. I schedule my appointment for a couple weeks in advance. You shouldn't call me up and go, yo, your full self-driving computer's not here. We can't have your appointment. But I'll reschedule you in a week. A couple days later, hey, my rescheduled appointment's gone. What happened? Oh, we don't show that you had a rescheduled appointment. Yeah, sure, but I have an email here that says I did, and now I don't. So I'll reschedule again for a week or two. Then they get my car. I get a Model S. Anybody ever driven a Model S? I drove a Model S. It was a P85D, but they kept it in chill. I couldn't get it. It had Ludicrous Plus too. It did, and I really wanted to try it, but I didn't because I couldn't because it was locked. So got the Model S loaner, which is sweet because I'm absolutely not taking the Uber credits that they like to give you. Not because I'm too good for Uber, because I like Uber and I've used Uber and I always will. But not during a pandemic. I'm not jumping in somebody's car. I don't know what's up. So, what's up, Robert? I go to pick up the car. The car's stuck in a software update. It's downloaded 100% and it's not updating. I wait all night with it plugged in. Nope, still doesn't work. Called a dude. His first name's Graham. Oh, well, Graham. What was he? He was Scottish. I'm like, it's stuck. Can you hook a brother up? And I give him the last whatever of my VIN number. He goes in and they do what they do, and poof, my car's updating in the parking lot at work. I was like, oh, sweet, here we go. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to drive home with this thing. Full self-driving's not active. Don't get me wrong. Full self-driving is still in beta. Full self-driving doesn't full self-drive. It just does some stoplight recognition stuff, and it'll stop at a stop sign. It'll stop at a stoplight. So all we're doing is teaching the cars how to do this stuff all by themselves. That's the whole reason why you drive a car, why you drive a Tesla on autopilot, or in cruise control with the full self-driving preview activated. But mine wasn't activated because I still needed 2 more software updates. So whatever. I woke up the next morning, it was there. So now it totally sees trash cans. It doesn't see geese. So you still got to pay attention. You're going to run over all them geese in the road. It all works pretty well. I'm pretty impressed. I'm looking forward to them expanding the scope of what full self-driving means. At some point, I want my car to drop me off and then go be Uber for somebody else. That'd be pretty sweet, and that's what old crazy boy Elon wants to do. All he needs to do is keep making that stock go up. That's what I got to say. Snow used to come off my parents' solar panel, huge sheets. It was awesome. That sounds cool. That makes about sense. PSA, Microbacter Clean with razor is half magnesium. Mine is rising without dosing extra. Climbed 100. Huh. That's interesting. Thanks, Robert. That's good info. I don't know what that means, but I know I'm going out but why? Oh, I know, Bill. Who else? Malev, right? He runs Metal Halide. Those guys. There's no reason to change. Reef Bum and Malev are totally successful and accessible through Instagram. Totally successful because of stability. They're not changing their systems up. Their systems are used to those lights. Those lights will absolutely grow coral. They're proven to, just like T5s. That's why. They don't mess with it. They just set it and forget it, like we LED people should do. Nothing wrong with those lights, other than they're going to make your air conditioner run more, and you got to change bulbs. Do you teach it to accelerate through yellow lights? You know what it does? If there's a blinking yellow light, it's all, shit, wait, shit, wait, shit, wait. So then you just hit the gas and make it go through. Oh, I hit the accelerator. My bad. It doesn't know what to do with a blinking yellow light. I can tell you that right now. Bill Ray, you work for Waymo for reals? That's pretty sweet. We should talk. I like that. I think, look, this is old man talk. I'm an hour in. Here's some old man business. People suck at driving. We all know this. Even you good drivers out there, you suck and you just don't know it. If all of our cars drove themselves, there'd be no more traffic. We could go way faster. And we can all catch up on our Instagram streams while we're moving along. Wait, 3. Not 3. Wait, 3. 3. Seriously. We all suck at driving. We need to let the computers just take over. Just give in. It's okay. It's good. The water's warm. Dive right in. Trust me. What am I missing? Yeah, yellow means punch it. Tesla means punch it. Let's go. Anytime. Oh, red light? What? You gonna what? You revving on me, bro? You twitching? We're gonna go. That's what we're gonna do. Even when we're gonna lose. 2,000 watts of solar on the roof, I believe. Sunworld been running great for 6 years. Don't know what panels you were thinking about running on your camper. Flex or solid? I'm looking at solid, and they're HQSTs, so they're 100 watt panels each. Right now, it's just going to be 400 watts. I'm going to start there and move on up. Bill, that's cool. That's super cool. What else? I think that's all I had. Upgrading my car is like upgrading computers. I think it's cool. It's like putting a new video card in. If all cars accelerate at the same rate simultaneously at a green light, it would exponentially be more efficient, and the Earth would stop. If we all accelerated going east all at the same time, would the Earth stop? If we were going west, would it go faster? I don't know. Always thinking. All right, y'all. I think it's been an hour. Check out... I can throw it back up here. Check out... Not like that. Don't do it. She's a nice young lady from Minnesota. Check out Chris Antoinette. Specifically, if I'm looking, this is not this one. Actually, this was a really good video. Watch this one because she knows what's up. Nope. Whatever. She does some gear reviews in here that links you back to an old gear review video, and you should go watch that because she gives the lowdown on some really good tech and also this cool little light, which I super dig. Whatever. I've already shouted out Will Pros in the past. Go check him out. He knows what's up. He's living in Vegas now, doing all sorts of fun with solar and doing good things for humanity because he's teaching people like me and like you to go do some cool stuff. Buy new tools. Wait. Because they may save your knuckles. Buy good pumps. Buy good pumps because pumps matter and metal sucks and you don't want that stuff. I got 26 concurrent viewers and 24 likes. 25, 24. People are dropping like flies. Give me one more. Give a brother a like, please. If you so feel I deserve, please consider subscribing. I tried to make this, like, this is a totally random one. I don't know what I'm going to, next week, I'll try to make it Friday. Unless I'm traveling. If I'm traveling, maybe I can do Tales from the Motorhome, if you're interested. If anybody's interested in that kind of stuff, this is, although I am Reef-centric, I'm going to talk about all sorts of crap. Whatever I'm doing, whatever I'm into, there's a good chance I'm going to talk about it. So if that's cool, if you think that's subscribe worthy, please give a brother a subscribe and a like. 27 likes, 26 concurrent viewers. Y'all are awesome, and I really appreciate that. Let me look real quick. What I miss? It's always sad to say goodbye, isn't it? It's always sad. I'm still going to try to do Fridays because this Monday thing, I mean, it's cool, but I think I would prefer Fridays. That's just one of those. So, okay, that's it. Seriously, thank you very much. I will eventually get to the description and share links so you can see what's up. But please, you saw the website. Check that kind of stuff out, and we'll go from there. Cool. Y'all have a good one. I hope you're safe. I hope you're healthy. I hope your families are healthy. Stay at home if you can. I know it sucks. It really sucks. But really, the numbers are the numbers, and you just got to pay attention to it. If you're not home, wear a mask. Remember, you're wearing a mask to protect them, not you. So if they see you without a mask, that means you don't care about them. I was down in Southern Virginia looking for motorhomes. None of them people wore masks. They didn't care about me. They just didn't care. That's fine. But that's okay. Aqua Aura, 17. I got my 14 shirt in the bedroom. Flight Fest 14 was super small, and it was super awesome, and I'm totally bummed that they are not holding Flight Fest this year. Actually, it would have been last weekend, I think, or this weekend, but I'm going to try to jump in the RV and head that way and go do some flying. I think those boys are open. I'm going to go check them out. So just put some LEDs on the RV, and it's all good. Roger that. You know that's going to happen, right? You know that's going to happen. All right, so like I said, be healthy, be safe, please. Hug people you can. Give people elbows you can't. Happy reefing. Happy whatevering. And be kind, everyone. Thanks.